Bonjour everybody, welcome to Clover Culinary. Thank you for coming to my kitchen here in Jersey City. Tonight's dish we're going to make is a classic French gourmet dish, but it's also nutritious and easy to make. And it's called chicken à l'orange. Actually in France they mostly make duck à l'orange, but I'm going to make chicken. It's just as good with chicken, and there's more chickens here in New Jersey than there are ducks. I guess in France they have a lot of ducks, but we're making our chicken. So the first thing we start, orange sauce is really delicious, and it's the French style orange sauce, not the orange sauce that you'll see in Asian restaurants. That's a little bit different. So you see, we have oranges cooked with chicken. The chicken breast I have is boneless chicken breast cutlets that I'm going to use. And before I fry them up, I pound them and dip them in flour. Oh, where's my pounder? Oh, here. So I just pound them flat so all the breasts will be the same thickness. People like all the breasts. They don't like it when one breast is thicker than the other breast. Chicken breast I'm talking about. So flatten this out. These are chicken breast tenderloins. You can use chicken cutlets or chicken breast tenderloins. I'm using the tenderloins. Flatten them out. And sometimes people salt and pepper them, but I'm not going to do that because I want the orange flavor and the sherry flavor and not the salt and pepper flavor to take away from that. So I have them all flattened out. All the breasts are the same thickness and just dip them in flour. Dipping them in flour will make them cook better without drying out, and it also makes them a nice golden brown color. You don't really have to do the flour, but I always use flour with chicken breasts. So after they're all floured up, I just cook them in a skillet. So the pan was filled with olive oil. You can use any kind of oil you want. But for a saucy dish, I like to use olive oil. So like I said, about 3 minutes for each side. So the chicken is done now. You gotta make sure you don't overcook your chicken, so of course it'll be dry. But just 4 minutes on each side for chicken. The thickness is fine. It'll cook a little bit later in the sauce as well. So let's take it out and put it on our plate. Okay. Now in the same pan we cook our chicken, and we're going to make our à l'orange sauce our orange sauce in English. So because it has the chicken flavor right in this pan, the first thing I add is the juice of a fresh orange. So we'll squeeze this orange up. And don't you just love the smell of fresh squeezed citrus juice? Here's the other half. And the next ingredient you add is 1.5 cups of unsweetened orange marmalade. If you can't find the unsweetened, you can always use the sweetened, but it'll be sweeter, obviously. So I'll add my orange marmalade. And the next ingredient you add for the sauce is sherry. Now use either cooking sherry or sweet sherry. You don't want to use the dry sherry, but the cooking sherry is, I love to use cooking sherry because it has the flavor and not the alcohol. So pour about 2 cups. I don't want to use the whole bottle. I just want about 2 cups. Mix it all together. Because the sherry has a sweet taste that goes really well with orange sauce. And if you, like I always say when I use wine, if you're using real alcoholic wine, you wait for the alcohol to evaporate out of it. Because you don't want that alcohol will give it a bitter taste. It's good when drinking, but not for cooking. For some people it's good for drinking, not good for cooking. And next I add a can of mandarin oranges. So this step is optional, but when people see these mandarin oranges, they're always very impressed with it, and it's a lot of fun to eat. Just a regular can of mandarin oranges, and you add it in. And then you add about 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. This will give it like a thicker flavor, thickness. I think this is 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. And you mix it all up. See, in this dish you don't really have to season with salt or spices or herbs because it gets all the flavor from the oranges and the sherry. So you don't have to worry too much about seasoning or salting it. Okay, and then you cover it and you let it simmer for on low heat for about 3 minutes. Let it simmer on a low heat and all the flavors of the sherry and the oranges will merge and the sauce will start to thicken. Okay, so I think it's cooked enough. Oh, look at the beautiful rich orangey color it turned out to be. Look, stir it because you don't want it to burn. And everyone is just so impressed when you do French cooking. I don't know why, but if something is a French recipe, they just think you're all that, and you really are. And don't be afraid to try fancy French recipes. Just fancy dinner party or just for like a night home to snuggle with. You'll love the one and have a delicious French meal. And that's it for the sauce. You add the chicken back to the sauce and let it simmer for a few minutes. And after a few minutes, you just dish it out. Dish it over noodles or pasta or rice because you want something that will absorb all this decadent, delicious orange sauce. Or as they say in France, à l'orange sauce. And of course, oranges have a lot of vitamin C. There you go. Here is your fancy gourmet French food that's nutritious, delicious, and you just saw how easy it was to make. So as they say in France, bon appétit. Here's to chicken à l'orange.